Hey everyone, Nick here, your host. Thank you for tuning in to the special episode of E3 Day 2. So, a lot of video game news has actually been announced on E3 Day 2, and before I get to it, let me just say two things. One, if you have a PlayStation 4 right now, you can actually download the Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite demo on your PS4. It's about 6 gigs, and yeah, it's a demo for the new Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite game coming out, so check that out. And the second thing I'm going to mention is I really won't be mentioning games that have already been talked about, such as Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy, Destiny 2, Call of Duty World War II, Star Wars Battlefront 2, South Park Fractured Butthole. You get the idea. I'm only here to tell you about new games that have been announced or we didn't have much information. So let me get right to that. So none of these video games that I will be naming off are in no specific order. They're just video games that I found during E3, and I want to tell you guys about them. So we may jump from like Nintendo to like BioWare, or to like a different game that hasn't even been announced yet that you guys know of. So without further ado, here we go. Anthem. It's a new video game coming out. I previously mentioned it in the last video, the last podcast, E3 Day 1, and Anthem is a new sci-fi action game created by BioWare, the studio behind Mass Effect and Dragon Age. Anthem, you are the role of a freelancer, an adventurer tasked with exploring unknown planets and protecting humanity using powerful custom exosuits. I watched a video on Anthem. It was about 8 minutes long, and they told pretty much everything about the game, and it actually looks pretty fun. I may pick it up or even rent it, and I believe Anthem is being written by Mass Effect 1 and 2's writer, I believe that's what they said. So Mass Effect 1 and 2 were both really good games, and if Anthem actually has a really good storyline, sure, why not pick it up? And the gameplay looks pretty cool. So another game that was announced, it's a sequel, Beyond Good and Evil 2. It's much anticipated to 2003's Beyond Good and Evil. It takes place before the birth of Jade, the protagonist of the original game. And a lot of people have been desperately looking forward to Beyond Good and Evil 2, and the company talked about it a few years back, and they never mentioned anything about it. So at least 2017's E3, they finally told people like, hey, we hear you, we're going to announce Beyond Good and Evil 2. So that's what they did. So yeah, we're getting that sometime soon, this year, next year, whenever, but at least they hear us. A new Dragon Ball Z game was announced. It's called Dragon Ball FighterZ, and it's a new fighting game based on Dragon Ball Z, obviously, and it's developed by Arc System. Arc System Works, and it is a studio behind the Guilty Gear and BlazBlue franchises. And those are pretty good games, pretty good fighting games, you know. The gameplay for Dragon Ball FighterZ looks pretty good. And it will feature 3 versus 3 fights starring characters from the Dragon Ball franchises. In the trailer, it showed Goku, Vegeta, Trunks, and classic villains like Majin Buu. The art style, it's like the anime, and it looks pretty good. It's going to launch on Xbox One in 2018, according to the first trailer, and it will also feature Xbox One enhancements upon release. So that's pretty awesome. A great Dragon Ball Z game that's coming out fairly soon. We're jumping to Nintendo here, and Nintendo announced a lot at this E3. I mean, when do they never announce a lot? But, so, Kirby is a new Switch game coming out, and right now it's just titled Kirby. The name could change, but, it is a 4-player co-op game, and the trailer, it's pretty cool. If you don't play 4 players, you can actually recruit the enemies as buddies and fight on the bosses in the game. So it's actually a pretty cool concept, in my opinion. I'm looking forward to that. Jumping away from Nintendo real quick, the new Life is Strange game. It's called Life is Strange Before the Storm. It's a 3-episode prequel series set before the events of the first game, Life is Strange. It stars Chloe with an appearance from Rachel Amber before she went missing. So, if you haven't played Life is Strange, now is a great time to play it, so you can be well informed for when the prequel comes out. I played some of it, and I need to go back now and beat it so I can so I know what's going on in the prequel. So going back to Nintendo, another fan favorite game, Nintendo finally heard our cries. Metroid 4 was announced. It was like a 20-second trailer, and it looked all spacey, then it said 4, and then the camera zoomed out and said Metroid Prime 4. So that's pretty awesome. Didn't say anything else. 2018, I believe, release date. I could be wrong, but I believe it's 2018, and it's for the Switch. So I don't know yet, but I'm hoping it'll be really good. Really good. And it's been about 10 years since we did have a proper Metroid Prime game. So that's a good thing that we know that development's actually taking place. So another Metroid game was announced. I watched the live stream as it happened, and Metroid Samus Returns. It's a reimagination of Metroid 2 Return of Samus, which came out for the Game Boy way back in 1991. So it's about 25 years old, and it looks awesome. It comes out, I believe, September or October, one of those 2 months of 2016. 2017. 2016, it would have been out already. But no, 2017. And it looks awesome. I'm definitely going to pick it up for my 3DS. Hopefully I get the new 2DS XL by then. That would be pretty awesome. But, yeah, it looks awesome. That's all I'm going to say. Go check that out. Metroid Samus Returns and Metroid Prime 4. Both awesome games. Metroid's an awesome franchise, so I'm glad we're actually seeing some progress with them, with Nintendo. So another big franchise, the Monster Hunter franchise. It returns to consoles as Monster Hunter World. Like the recent 3DS installments, you can scale walls, leap on the monsters as you attack them, cook food. It appears that they have a new element, or new elements to Monster Hunter, like grappling hooks, flares, and a machine gun firearm. So that's pretty interesting. In other news too about Monster Hunter, I announced a while ago that Monster Hunter Cross was coming out, and I read an article today that was saying that Monster Hunter Cross Cross isn't coming to the States, so it's only going to be in Japan. And you may say, oh, well, off a Switch, I could just buy it on there and on the Japanese one and play it in English. Actually, no, you can't, because they don't have localization. So, yeah, sorry, Monster Hunter fans. So, another big franchise, moving on from Monster Hunter. No trailer or gameplay was shown of this game, but the president of the Pokemon Company, Tsunokazu Ishihara, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, he confirmed that Game Freak is working on a new core Pokemon RPG game for the Switch. He did state that it may, in quotes, may not release for more than a year. So, probably E3 next year. And that's when we'll see some gameplay maybe, or, some more information about it. Probably be out in 2018 holiday. That's what I'm thinking. Somewhere around there. Hopefully not, but, at least they're working on it, that's for sure. So, Sony kind of shocked us. A game that is on the PS2 is coming to the PS4, but totally remastered. It's a remaster of a remake of Shadow of Colossus that came out in 2005. They said that they won't change the gameplay at all. They'll just make the visual appearances a lot better. So, that's awesome. Shadow of the Colossus is going to look fantastic on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 4 Pro. So that's pretty cool. And also, too, it's probably only going to be PlayStation 4/Pro exclusive. So that's another good reason to have a PS4. So if you're excited about Shadow of Colossus, let me know, because I am. That's for sure. So we got shown a new game. It's not by Nintendo. It's actually from Ubisoft Singapore. And it's called Skull and Bones. And it sounds like pirates. Because it is pirates. Basically, the trailer showed 5 ships. Like 5 pirate ships. They each have their own different stats, like one's a long range, one's a heavy, one's a faster ship, and the whole point is you and 4 other players take on 5 players, so 5v5 battles, and you try to take the most gold at the end of I think it's a time limit, or just like a certain amount of progress. I forget, but it does look pretty fun. It's definitely a game I would want to try out with some friends. And like the trailer showed the pirates taking over, blowing up the other pirate ships, and the very last one they boarded it, stole some gold, repaired their ship, and they were sailing away. Then these pirate attackers, I guess you could call it, they kind of went after the pirate ships, and one of the 5 pirate ships, they actually sacrificed themselves so all the other guys can get away with all the gold that they managed to get. So that's kind of cool. It's interesting. I'd like to see more gameplay from Skull and Bones, that's for sure. So jumping back to Nintendo, fan favorite Yoshi. Yep, Yoshi's coming back. Right now it's like Kirby, it's just titled Yoshi, but we do have gameplay of it. And it looks like Yoshi's Story or Yoshi's Woolly World, and it's supposed to release in 2018. But the cool thing is, you can go, like when you're playing, you can ground pound, at least what the trailer shows, and play on the other side of the map. Nintendo Treehouse, they were playing like about an hour or so today, and it looked pretty fun. Like, it reminded me back in the day playing Yoshi Story. And you could play 2 players, a green and a red Yoshi. And yeah, it had the whole nostalgia feel, but also pretty nice. Like, a lot of the things were cardboard cutouts, if that makes sense. And Yoshi kind of has a cool look to him. Like, he's very HD, I guess you could say. So go check that out, Yoshi and Kirby on the Switch. So another game, yeah, Nintendo pretty much owned day 2 at E3. So yeah, Nintendo unveiled Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga plus Bowser's Minions. Yeah, I know, Superstar Saga came out way back on the GBA, but they redid it, and it will be out October 6th of 2017. And the Bowser Minions, it's a part of the new storyline, and you start enemy characters. You basically recruit characters to grow your own army, and you need to find the leader. They showed some gameplay at E3, and Bowser Minions is a pretty lengthy game, they said, and it's a strategy game where you can have like Koopa Troopas, Goombas, Flying Koopas, etc., and you have to make your own little army, and you battle, and then after the battle's done, you like run through like this little area, then you battle again, so on and so forth. But it looks pretty fun, and both that and Superstar Saga are updated with 3D graphics, so it looks pretty cool. Pretty cool. Before I get into it, but I might as well announce this now since I was just talking about it. Superstar Saga, actually, you can get 2 amiibos, a Koopa Troopa and a Goomba. So that's pretty cool. I wonder what they do in the game. Speaking about amiibos, for the Samus Metroid game for the 3DS, a Samus and Metroid amiibo are coming out in a 2-pack together. So that's pretty cool. They looked really cool. Metroid looked pretty cool. Apparently, E3 said the Metroid was squishy. I don't know anything about that, but that's how it looked. So that's pretty nice. Some more amiibos are Wedding Mario, Bowser, and Peach from Super Mario Odyssey, which I'll talk more later, but they're a 3-pack. They look pretty awesome. 4 new Zelda amiibos. The Goron champion Doruk, the Rito champion Rivali, the Zora champion Mifa, and the Gerudo champion Urbosa. I'll talk about that a little bit later. So just letting you know that they announced 4 new amiibos for Legend of Zelda series, and 2 for Fire Emblem, Chrome and Tiki. So yeah, Nintendo blessed us with a handful of new amiibos to go out and collect. So I'm pretty excited for that. All those, the Legend of Zelda ones, and the Wedding Mario, Bowser, and Peach look pretty awesome. Go Google those if you haven't seen them yet, and pre-order them. Apparently pre-orders, you can go and pre-order right now. So that's pretty cool that basically the day that came out, pre-orders are available already. So thank you, Nintendo. So back to Monster Hunter, a game called Monster Hunter World. It's coming in early 2018. And Monster Hunter World, it delivers a gameplay experience allowing players to move freely across the map. And there's areas that are like different living ecosystems, and the map dynamically transitions from day to night. The landscape and the inhabitants play a role in each quest as players strategically use the surrounding environments, including like the terrain, the vegetation, the wildlife, to their advantage, and battle or become hindered by the hazards they play. So that sounded pretty intense. apparently there are online options and an accessible quest structure. Players can tackle challenges alone or join up to 3 other hunters online for co-op play. And for the first time in the Monster Hunter series, players from Japan and the West can play together online. That is awesome. And with the new online drop-in functionality, solo players can hail for assistance from the worldwide group during quests when their opponents are too tough to take on single-handedly. So you could basically be like, hey, I need help beating this, and people from around the world can now play with you now. That's awesome. That's awesome. I may have to pick this up. Pretty sweet. So Sony kind of shocked us all when they announced this, but a fan favorite game from PC is coming to the PlayStation 4 and Vita. It's called Undertale. Yep, that game Undertale on Steam is coming to the PS4 and Vita. If you haven't heard of Undertale by now, you've definitely been living under a rock or something, but it is awesome. Great RPG to have on the PS4/Vita, and I'm glad to see it coming out on Sony on, like I said, PS4 and Vita. So, another great game, but this one's coming to a Switch. Rocket League. Yep, Rocket League is coming to the Nintendo Switch with all the content and features and updates, everything, and in addition to exclusive battle cars and customization items like Mario and Luigi hat toppers, they said. Rocket League will also support all of the Nintendo Switch's playing modes, like TV mode, which is docked, tabletop mode, handheld mode, and both online and local multiplayer. And online multiplayer supports up to 8 players, and cross-network play will be supported as well, allowing Switch players to play with players on Steam and Xbox One. Sony, why? I don't understand. Sony could have gotten in on this. So Rocket League, you could be playing with people on Xbox One, Steam, and Switch now. So you don't even know who you're playing with now. That is awesome. This could have been the first game that supported that. But Sony, I don't know why they didn't want to. Well. Oh well. No biggie. Well, eventually Sony will give in. Eventually. So, talking back about Zelda, Legend of Zelda, they have a new DLC coming out called Breath of the Wild DLC. And it will be coming later this year. The follow-up DLC, called the Champion's Ballad, will be available during holiday 2017, around Christmas time. And it will focus on the 4 champions that I named before, the 4 amiibos, Urbosa, Mifa, Daruk, and Revali. And like I said, they will release them, so you can use them in the Champion's Ballad. I don't know what it'll do, they didn't mention, but the first pack, Master Trials, arrives June 30th, so in 15 days or so from now, which June 30th is also the release date of Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy. So that's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome in my opinion. Can't wait for that. So talking about sorry about that. Talking about Super Mario Odyssey. Nintendo set a release date. And the release date is October 27th, 2017. Just in time for Halloween, Black Friday, and Christmas season. So that's pretty awesome if you ask me. I am stoked about Super Mario Odyssey. cannot wait for it. It looks so much fun. The last Mario game I did play was Galaxy, so I kind of haven't played in a while. But yeah, this looks pretty awesome. So I mentioned mentioned before that there was some new franchises coming out, and Xenoblade Chronicles 2 will be releasing holiday 2017. So around the same time Legend of Zelda DLC will be coming out, and Nintendo announced the release date for Xenoblade Chronicles 2 during E3. I guess I couldn't find it or something because I don't have it here, but the release date's out, so that's pretty awesome. Xenoblade is a big franchise, and I'm glad to see the second one's coming out. Hopefully they release a virtual console, so players that never got the chance to play the first one can play the first one on the Switch, and then the second one on the Switch. Done. More money for Nintendo, in my opinion. So, I talked about Fire Emblem characters, the amiibos, and, well, there's a reason for it. Because there's a new Fire Emblem game coming out called Fire Emblem Warriors. And I guess you can use these two new amiibos in the game, but the game basically is about this brother and sister, and they have to fight I guess this one group of people, or this one bad guy, and players from Fire Emblem series like Chrome and others join in with this brother and sister. They help them in their army, their group. So that's pretty awesome. That will be coming out this fall. So in a couple months. So they've been working on that for a while. So a new Tropico game came out, Tropico 6. It will launch in 2018 for PS4, Xbox One, and PC. Publisher Calypso Media announced about Tropico 6, and it's not developed by the studio that made the other Tropicos, but instead it's made by Might and Magic Studio, Limbic Entertainment, and the game runs on Unreal Engine 4, and for the first time you can build bridges, so that's pretty awesome. Calypso says about Tropico 6 that it is the biggest, most beautiful, and most ambitious in franchise history, and that there will be many more features announced in the weeks and months ahead. So that's pretty awesome. They showed a trailer, and the trailer was pretty cool. If you're a big Tropico fan, you'll definitely enjoy the trailer. But some new features are some things like you can manage multiple islands at the same time, send your agents on raids to foreign lands to steal world wonders and monuments, build bridges, construct tunnels, transport your citizens and tourists in taxis, customize the look of your palace, revised research system focusing on the political aspects of being the world's greatest dictator, election speeches are back, and cooperative and competitive multiplayer for up to 4 players. So that's pretty awesome. It seems like E3 this year, 2017, was a good year for pretty much everybody. Pretty soon, I hope, we will be having what we think about E3. I may have some guests on, and we'll talk about things we like, don't like, pros, cons, etc., what we're looking forward to. But yeah, that's all the news I have for you guys on E3 Day 2. I know it's a little bit shorter than the other video, but tomorrow's the last day at E3, so there may not be much information. So if there's not, I'll just take what they talked about and just basically talk about more about it. or my opinions on it, or I don't know, we'll have to see what they announce tomorrow. But yeah, until then, thanks for tuning into the podcast, and thank you for listening to E3 Day 2, and I'm sure they appreciate it. And let me know what games you're looking forward to, what games you wished came out, and what games are you hoping to buy when they do come out. So yeah, let me know, and don't forget, you can always follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, our podcast site, wherever, iTunes even. We're also on iTunes, but yeah, wherever you follow us, make sure you let us know. So until then, I'll see you guys later. I'm Nick, your host, and thank you for listening to. Thank you, and happy gaming.